place where the magic happens. Conversations flow and the laughter snapping. Here at Netters Network, where the stories come alive. Every episode's a journey, every guest a drive. Netters Network, tune in for the show, where the headlines meet the heart, and we all get to know. From the highs to the lows, we've got it all in tow. Netters Network, where the world's on the go.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Netters Network Thursday Things. I have a very special guest waiting in the green room, but before I bring him in, let me introduce to you my co-host for the evening, the love of my life, that guy at the end of the bar, Troy Pacelli. How you doing tonight, sweetie, and what are you sipping on?
And tonight, I'm the guy behind the camera. I am just about to finish off a
Okay, I'll get you another one.
Diet Dr. Pepper. I guess I've got another
I'm the
one
keeper of the mini fridge.
So yes, I am sipping on a Diet Dr. Pepper. There you go.
Yes, and for those of you who aren't aware, Troy is literally sitting 4 feet in front of me.
Literally the guy behind the camera.
Yes. So that's why I'm able to hand him his Diet Dr. Pepper so easily. Otherwise, I might have to, chuck it at him.
I usually earn that by the end of a stream, so, it's the way it goes.
Sometimes. There are some times, dear, where I do want to chuck the can at you.
I understand.
But then I also know that I'd be the one cleaning up the mess.
Well, there.
Okay, let us say hello to the chat.
Hello, the chat.
Yes. First in was JPRPH1. Drop in the Netters Network emojis. We got the Smolder Netters Network smile and Retro Cinema saying, "Hail, folks."
Hail, hail.
Big Al Presents saying, "Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a great evening. Have a wonderful stream." Oh, thank you, Al. Oops, I just jumped. Curtis Selby saying, "Howdy." Jesse Guajardo, "Good evening, sweetie." Then there's that Netters girl saying hi to that Troy guy. You know how that goes. And there's that Troy guy saying hi to that Netters girl. Those two got something going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear they've been married forever. Let's see. H. Boomer. How you doing tonight, sweetie? I'm trying not to let my chat jump. Wilkie's Movies and Music. Welcome, sweetie. He says, "Keep her out of the mini fridge. With great power comes great responsibility."
That's right. That is right.
Yes, because otherwise he sits there and he's thirsty.
And I mope. Yeah.
And we also have Deleted Scenes giving his salute. Thank you, sweetie. He also says, "Hail, chat." Excuse me.
Hail to the chat. You are really nifty people.
Yes. You are very Osmo. Clue Studio. How you doing, sweetie? I like his. Netter. Let's see. I think I'm getting either bottom. Oh, here we go. Geek Flag with Nate saying to like, share, subscribe, comment, become a member, and if you're going to give a super chat, $5 or more, why not just gift a membership? That's an awesome way to look at it.
Great idea. Thank you so much.
I love that. And I think I finally made it to the bottom. Okay. Let us bring in our special guest, the Horror Cat Dad.
Let me hide your comment.
As I'm sitting here going, come on, producer. And thank you, Geek Flag with Nate. He gave a $2 super chat saying, "Sorry, I haven't made any advertisement for tonight." That's totally fine, sweetie.
No worries, man. You've been working like overtime. I'm going to have to increase your pay by 1,000%.
Right?
What's 1,000% of nothing?
Well, yeah,
Someday, I hopefully will get this to a place where I can have people on staff that I can actually pay gainfully.
that would be nice because I want someone to do my editing for me. I love making the videos.
Right.
I hate the editing.
Oh, it takes so much time. It's crazy amount of
Yes.
time. But you know what we're talking about,
Yes,
don't you, Horror
you
Cat?
do.
Yes, I do.
For those of you who are in my chat regularly, you know the Horror Cat Dad is in my chat like a lot.
Yep.
And I decided let's bring him on and let's find out more about him and his channel. So, Horror Cat Dad, give us your 30-second elevator pitch.
Well, I'm the Horror Cat Dad. I basically review horror collectibles and like figures and some movie reviews, prints, vinyl, stuff like that. I do a lot of unboxing stuff. I also every now and again you'll see stuff with my cats show up as well. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's pretty much my channel.
It's like I
There you
would
go.
love to see your kitties. If they happen to decide they want to come visit while we're doing this, I'm totally okay with that.
You make sure they get on camera.
Oh, I mean, if you see this mirror back here like move, it's not because my house is haunted. It's because one of my cats is coming into the room. And if it's my cat, she'll jump on the couch and hang out right there in the
Oh,
background.
nice.
So
Yeah, it's like I've had other guests on where their cats have just walked across the screen, and it's like, that's totally fine. It's like, you don't have to move the cat. The cat can stay. Even the puppers. If you got a pupper, the pupper can stay too. Yeah, it's like, we welcome everyone here. Because we figured, those are like your assistants.
oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, my cat, she's executive producer. So
I'm the executive producer.
Exactly.
right.
Exactly. Your cat gives out the purrs, and and it's got that warm belly.
she makes sure nobody comes in while I'm filming. She's also very much like she's also security guard as well. If you want to look at it like that, she makes sure that
Absolutely.
I'm on time for everything. When I'm shooting stuff. So.
And I do want to apologize to the chat in advance. Since it's been so cold here, I have the heat on. So every once in a while you might hear a rumble. If you hear a rumble, that's just my furnace on. So if it's...
Yes, we have just had to turn our furnace on. It's that time of year now.
Yeah, it's like 40 degrees outside. So
Wow.
it's just cold enough where it's like, yeah, I think I need to turn the furnace on and get the house warm.
Without being too specific or doxing yourself, whereabouts are you in this world?
So what state?
I'm in Texas.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
But don't hold it against me.
No,
No.
not at all. Vote for Brandon Herrera.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I mean, if he's in your district. I don't know if he's in your district.
Yeah, it's like, we adore Brandon Herrera.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's like...
AK guy on YouTube.
We would really like to move to Texas or Tennessee. I think Troy's moving, or leaning more towards Tennessee now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like Texas, one of my favorite states.
But we'll see if you guys keep Texas, copacetic. Maybe take care of some of that border situation. Maybe we will come on down.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, it's just you got to worry about like the heat and the hurricanes and and no actual like seasons.
Well, that's what, because Netter says to me, she's like, well, what kind of climate do you have in Texas? I said, Texas is a big state. There's all kinds of stuff. There's desert, there's beach, there's, just about everything.
Yeah.
There's farmland, there's grazing land,
There's desert beach, there's beach desert.
Yes, I mean, it's all kind. You could have a hurricane on the one side and you can have a desert on the other side.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. You can have like smoldering heat, dry heat, or you could have crippling humidity. I mean, yeah, it's just, yeah. But then all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, it'll be like snowing in the higher parts of northern Texas and stuff like that.
And then, well, yeah, exactly, because you do have some high ground there too. So she then asked me, so what about Tennessee? I said, well, Tennessee, think more like Southern Illinois, because sometimes we used to always go down to Southern Illinois for in Metropolis, Illinois, which is as far south as you can go, a little point there at the end of Illinois, we would go for the Superman celebration in the middle of summer. So we would leave here and it would be like, 70, 75 degrees. We get down there, it'd be 106 in the shade, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, so you get a little bit warmer in Tennessee, but you're also still going to get, you know, the moderate winters and whatnot.
Yeah.
So.
And I want to say hello to Connie Cleary. How you doing, sweetie?
Welcome, the bird woman of YouTube.
Yeah, so
Thank
now
you,
we're
thank
in
you.
Illinois, so it means our seasons are summer, construction, and winter.
Yes, pretty much exactly the case. Exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
In fact, they're getting ready to do some construction. And this is weird. A guy came up to our door. 'Cause my home office is right at the front of the house. So it's like the front door is our living room, is for our living room. The room right next door is my office. So I can see the walkway and everything out in the front. Oh, he comes up, he puts a tag on our door. And he was out there for a really long time putting this tag up there. It's not like he wrote anything on it. Then he took a picture of it, tucked into our door, and then kind of wandered off down the street. Well, I went out to look at it, and I'm like, okay, it's a notice saying that they're going to be breaking up the street in the near future because they want to lay down some new cable for some new cable company or something. But I'm the only one that he gave it to. He didn't stop at any of my neighbors down the street. I watched him walk down the street.
Well,
he gave
we
us
know what's going
one and no one else. It's like, so what, they're just going to do one little section in front of my house and not touch anybody else? You know?
I think that happened in my neighborhood like a couple summers back. They AT&T was doing some like fiber in our neighborhood, and originally we got a notice, but they never did anything to ours. But our neighbors, they went to theirs and they kind of tore up the front and stuff like that. So that was kind of weird. Like they told us, but they didn't do anything. And then like they skipped the rest of the people in our cul-de-sac, and then down the road they just tore up everybody's like down the street. Like I was like, it was insane. It was just weird how they did our neighbors, but none of like one neighbor, but not everybody else in the cul-de-sac. I thought that was kind of weird.
Yeah, well, if they're going to tear up like our driveway and in front of our street, as long as we can get our car in and out,
Yeah.
you know,
exactly.
or I have some other place that I can park legally.
We could drive across the front lawn to our neighbor's driveway.
Actually, we could probably drive across the front lawn as long as we don't hit the fire hydrant onto the street if we
Yeah.
really had to.
True. Anyway, Horror Cat Dad.
So the difference.
Would you prefer us refer to you as Horror Cat Dad? Is that your official title?
I mean, you know, some people like people know my name, Larry.
Okay.
So you can call me either or. I mean, either or is fine.
Okay, fair enough. Larry the Horror Cat Dad. How's that?
That's
At least he's not Larry the Cable Guy.
Well, no, I mean, you know, he's Larry the Horror Cat
Yes.
Dad. So, so tell us about what is it? How do you put it? The 30-second
We already
elevator.
did that, honey.
We already did. Tell us the slightly longer history of how you came to decide to do this crazy YouTube thing.
Yes, and why you decided to put the different things on your channel that you did. Like I noticed a lot of Neko stuff, and you've got these really cute figures on there. You've done some movie rewatches. So like, how often do you do the movie rewatches, and what made you decide to choose the things like the Neko to put onto your channel?
So, first and foremost, it was all my wife's idea. This is all my wife's doing. That Horror Cat Dad is her idea. She knows I love horror movies and I love my cats. So, you know, and dragging her to a convention, she was like, you know, we don't really see, you know, too much cat stuff. You love horror, you love cats. Why don't you just be Horror Cat Dad? I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, you know. And you know, not only her, but also like friends of mine have said, hey, why don't you, you know, review these figures? You know, once I started getting back into collecting. Which I started collecting a year before I started my channel, and I was just really like kind of apprehensive about it and everything. But then you know, people kept telling me, my old friends, you know, and my wife, like, well, why don't you just do a channel? I'm like, I don't know. And so then that's how I got the ball rolling. I released my first video, which was a Funko, and yeah, I just kind of been. Ever since then, it just kind of started going, and now actually oddly enough, yesterday was my 3rd-year anniversary. So I've been doing this for 3 years now. So
Nice.
yeah, it's
Congratulations.
thank you,
And of
thank you
course,
so
I
much.
want to remind everyone that the link to the Horror Cat Dat is pinned to the top of the chat. Make sure you give a right click on there and you go over there to subscribe. Show the love.
Absolutely. Subscribe and become a member if you are so excited
Yes.
by what you see there.
Yeah, because I know there's a lot of horror fans out there. So, yeah, if you are able to become a member, that would be amazing.
Yeah, thank you guys. As for your other question about the movie reviews, those I actually was dabbling in a little bit. It was it became really time consuming. It's oddly enough because if you watch the video, it's just me like talking about the movie, but getting all the clips or not the clips, the screenshots for everything. So I do them. I had another one planned, and then I recently told this story. I did have a full one done, but the audio, everything was just it really fried my brain trying to do it, and so that's why I kind of got away from it a little bit.
Yeah.
At some point, I do want to do it again. I used to host a weekly show called In the House last year with my buddy Don, and yeah, we kind of took a break from that for a little bit, and now I do like a monthly show called Conversations With, where I have similar to this, where I have somebody come on in the community and basically ask them a few questions and just kind of let the chat run wild from there, and then hang out with the people in the chat. So just been doing that. And as for why NECA is just that's mostly what I collect. I'm sorry, and
You
yeah,
connect
there's
and connect with them.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I just love the detail in them, and it all started again. It started with my wife getting me a Creature from the Black Lagoon figure for Christmas. One of my favorite, it is my favorite Universal monster since I was a kid. So that really got me back into collecting. Other than that, I collect posters, and I'll show some of my posters and some of my hauls from when I go to conventions and stuff like that. I also do. Footage from walkthroughs that I do at the conventions I go to. So
Oh,
you'll
cool.
see that on my channel as well.
Yeah, it's really nice to see the different things they have in the dealers' rooms. It's like sometimes you see like that one thing. It's like, oh, look at this. This is something like I've never seen in the wild, and it's like but it's a
Yeah,
holy grail item that you can't afford to buy, but you at least got a picture of it saying, I saw one. I actually saw one. I was
yeah.
4 feet from it, whatever.
You'd be surprised. Some people are so creative, and I mean, I've seen like people make their own like mini busts and stuff of certain characters. I mean, I saw one at the last convention of Swamp Thing that looked just absolutely incredible, and just how these people are so talented and having to do that. It's like it's insane. It's really cool, and I just it's for me. It's just I want to get everything, but I can't get everything, obviously, because
Yeah.
nobody can afford everything. You know what I mean? But
Trust me, I'm married to someone who is a Star Wars fan,
Yeah.
and I've got dioramas currently all over my floors, tables, different rooms.
Yeah, exactly. Videos to come, by the way. So, Larry, when you're talking the NECAs, are you talking like
Oh, so he gave me one to show.
this scale
Nice. Bigger so I can
okay? Because
show it.
I do have that one, but that's only because that's the only size they did for hell. Well, no, that's not entirely true because
They
they
did a bigger
did
one.
this.
Yeah.
They did this. They did a bigger one.
hmm
I
Yeah,
did
they
not
have.
know that.
Yeah,
They
they
had a
have. Yeah, they
smaller
have
one.
the Toonie Terrors. They also had. It's been a while since they released it, but they have like
There, no glare.
I think it's like a 12-inch figure.
Oh, it's that much larger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this one would be kind of like I don't know, a 6-inch. That one there is
I like this
7.5.
one.
Yeah, 7-inch.
hmm
I desperately want, and if I have to, I'll do it myself custom. I want a 9-inch scale. They do have a 9-inch scale because I got a Michael Myers.
hmm
Yeah.
Was it Michael Myers? Yeah, Michael Myers in the
And the
9-inch.
detail on these are amazing.
Yeah,
Yep.
but I'm into that whole Mego scale. So
And he loves Hellraiser.
yeah, I have all the Universal monsters in Mego. I got they started doing some of the newer ones. So they got like Candyman. They did oh gosh, I can't even remember what all they did. Chucky.
They've done Freddy, Jason.
Freddy, Jason. No, they haven't done Jason. They didn't get the rights to Jason
No,
because. Oh,
yeah,
you
yeah.
mean NECA did?
Yeah, NECA did the retro cloth
I
ones. Not
see.
the.
Yeah.
I know Mego did those ones, but I'm talking like NECA did their sort of like
Yeah.
knockoff Mego
I
ones, and
Yeah,
they.
yeah.
Yeah.
exactly. So I'm hoping that at
Jason's
some point we
cousin
get
Jerry.
yeah. And I'm hoping that at some point we get a Hellraiser in that scale. I really would like it just feels incomplete because I've got, all the major ones. I'm like, if I don't have Hell Priest, I'm out of luck. But that's what I said. I'll do it myself if I have to.
You'd be surprised, like some of the people online. I during before I started my channel, like I found somebody online that did a custom Funko of me before Funko started doing all that.
Oh
And
wow,
I
that's
was
really
just like,
cool.
wow, that's pretty cool. Like he also had the little cat with it too, so it was really, really.
Oh,
really
that is so
awesome.
sweet. That is so cool. I know that Andy Masterson is working on a Mego scale Last Call of Troy Pacelli figure. So
Yeah.
I'll be looking forward to seeing what that looks like.
Nice.
That'll be coming really soon. He said he's not used to working in that scale because he usually does the 12-inch figures. I'm like, well, it's just something new.
Yeah,
And I
definitely.
want to say hello to the Horror King. We got
Welcome, the
another
Horror
guy here.
King. I will be hanging out with him and a bunch of others, including I Am the 13th Child, and a couple others next week for a special Halloween Last Call. Looking forward to that. We're getting stood up by the Horror Cat, Dad. That's why we got him in here a week early. No, that's okay. We got you in here a week early, so it works out just fine. So we can introduce everybody to you.
Absolutely.
But so if I had to put you on the spot, because I am
Which
putting you on the
is.
spot, what is your favorite horror film?
It's a tie between Night of the Living Dead and the original Dawn of the Dead.
Not bad though. Yeah, the fact that you could narrow it down that well is actually pretty good. Why is Dawn of the Dead so in there with the classic Night of the Living Dead?
For me, it's just, I mean, just the. I feel like it takes it up a notch, but at the same time, it's. I feel that they're both like on the same level, despite people saying like, well, this one has better effects, or like the effects
Sure.
are, it's not in black and white and stuff like that. But for me, it's just the overall the message of it, the story, the characters, like just everything for both films. Like I can watch both films over and over again, and it's just like I never get tired of either one. I told the story recently that usually for Halloween, I'll watch like different horror movies, but I always end the night off with either Night of the Living Dead or Dawn of the Dead. Like I
That's
have
fair.
to watch that at the end of the night. Like that's just
fair.
something for me that's capping off Halloween.
How do you feel about the Night of the Living Dead? I guess you'd call it remake, but it's still
Is it?
Romero.
Yeah, the 1990s one, the
Yeah.
Tom Savini one. Yeah, I enjoyed it too. It's oddly enough, the first time I saw that one,
Uh-huh.
I was watching Joe Bob's original show that was on the movie channel,
Oh yeah.
and he was like, "Oh, we're gonna do Night of the Living Dead," and I was like, "Oh, cool!" So I started watching it, and I was like, "Wait, this is in color," and then I was like, "Wait, this
Yeah.
isn't."
Yeah.
And that's when I was I was so young that I didn't realize that it's a remake, and it scared me. It actually scared the bejesus out of me, but I was
It
like,
was
wow,
terrorized.
Yeah.
but I really enjoyed it, and before he passed, I was able to meet Tony Todd, and I asked him, what was your inspiration for Ben? 'Cause
Yeah.
Ben, I mean, Jones was amazing as Ben, so
Right.
to have somebody of Tony Todd's caliber to do Ben, like I wanted to
Right.
know his thought process and doing it, and he went into a whole story about it, and it was really, really cool, and it was a
That's
really good
awesome.
experience. So it just,
That's
I do like the remake quite a bit.
There was so I went and I saw it opening week in the theater, and I went in trepidatious but kind of expecting to not like it. And the things that I found most jarring about it, in time, became very it became good memories. Like, for example, Patricia Tallman plays Barbara, and first off, I really like Patricia Tallman, but you're expecting, because you're expecting it to be a remake, so you expect her to like go comatose and like have no role from that point on. Nope. You know, they slap her around, say, come on, you got to snap out of it. She rips off her sleeves and goes all Sigourney Weaver. I'm like, okay, well, that's a different take on this movie.
And I want to thank Clue Studios for the $5 super chat. I missed this one earlier. It says, not to spread gossip, I think Troy and Netter have something going on or something.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I still struggle a little bit with the ending. Because I feel like, and it's a very subtle thing, but it's a very important thing from the point of view of messaging. When Ben gets shot at the end of the original, he's not a zombie. He's a human being, and he gets shot. And in the new one, he is a zombie, and he's just being put down. And I'm like, very different messaging. But maybe that's because when the original came out, it rings a little bit different. And maybe that wouldn't carry over to today. I don't know. What do you think?
No, I mean, definitely it's interesting that, so many people say that that one has the the racial undertones and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, you can, when you see Ben get shot at the end of the original, it's still, and then the other part that always gets me is they throw him on top of that first zombie that you encounter.
Yes, that's right.
Like
that's
that to me, that I'm just like, man, they were running from this guy, and then look, now they end up in the same place. And that always gets me every time at the end, like and the ending. Every time I see that, I'm like, man, that right there is powerful to me. And,
do you feel? Oh, sorry, I thought you were done.
No. I was just gonna say, as for the one for Tony Todd, it's more of like, I was like, oh man, I guess it's because I love that character from the original, and Tony Todd did such a great job.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
It's still kind of that gut punch, like, he turned,
Yeah.
And then they have to take him out anyway, She took him down. So it's still kind of like he didn't survive in any one,
Right.
Jessica Hart said Troy NECA has done a video game version of Friday the 13th.
Oh, okay. I hadn't seen that one. That's pretty cool. What I was going to say is, or I guess ask, just throw this topic out there. When it comes to zombie movies, I feel like a zombie film, if you're doing it right, it can really be used in a lot of ways, commentary wise, right? So you could argue that the first Night of the Living Dead, you brought it up. There's definitely racial undertones there, but it's done in that very. I can't even say it's subtle. It's not subtle, but it's in that way that causes you to not recoil from it, but to kind of chew on it and go, it kind of makes you think. But then you have the element of the Cold War and the other, and the enemy without as opposed to the enemy within. You could even almost, I suppose, if you want to use modern sensibilities, you could talk in terms of immigration and all that kind of stuff. There's definitely elements in later movies about corporatism. I suppose you could say capitalism, but really more corporatism and consumerism and so forth. So, but in recent years, mirroring the concerns of the modern audience, a lot of Contagion. The very obvious, most logical story to tell with a zombie outbreak, the Contagion thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Do you think it might be one of the most versatile topics to use for just about any subject matter?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you watch as many horror movies as most of the horror people do. It's like you can find, especially in the 80s, you find tons of commentary throughout. I mean, even just going back to like Dawn of the Dead, for example, has the consumerism commentary, and then going. Somebody mentioned Day of the Dead in the chat. I mean, that one has
Yeah.
it's like the sort of like the government kind of holding these people there and trying to like control everything. It's like it's kind of like with the whole thing with what Cold War, all that stuff that was going on during the
Yeah.
80s. So yeah, definitely I feel even now, like later on, if you watch like 28 Days Later,
Oh yeah.
referring to zombie movies, I mean, technically, they say themselves they're not zombies; it's just like a virus or something like that. So, like even more so, it's kind of what's going later on.
Kinda-
You know what I mean?
It does kind of blur the line.
Mm-hmm.
How do you define a zombie after a certain point, right?
Well,
Right.
my favorite zombie movie, Troy knows this, Warm Bodies.
I was just going to bring that up. Warm Bodies is actually another take on the zombie story, albeit a bit of comedy infused into it, but it still has a way of dealing with romantic issues, relationships, and whatnot. Is still within the zombie context. One could even say the same thing about Fido, if you've ever seen that movie.
Yeah, same thing.
I mean, that one is, of course, you get the kind of like Fallout. You get that retro futurism of that 50s aesthetic and so on and so forth. But yeah. So I don't think the zombie genre has been exhausted just yet.
No, zombies. I mean, they got. Actually, I don't know if it's still on because we haven't watched it in forever. But there's The Walking Dead. Then there was
Fear of the
another
Walking Dead.
one. Fear of the Walking
Yeah,
Dead.
and
Yeah.
think
I
now
don't know if
there's,
those are still on because we haven't watched them in years. But
I think
it's like
Daryl
those were
and
really huge.
there's a Daryl Dixon show that spawned off, and then there's one of like Maggie and Negan and stuff like that. The original
Not
Walking Dead show
surprised.
already ended, so did Fear of the
Maggie
Walking
got
Dead.
together with Negan. We hated Negan. We loved Maggie. What the heck?
Yeah. Well, by the time we noped out, they were definitely taking a very different course from the comics. So
Oh yeah, for sure.
I forgot to ask you what you're sipping on.
Oh yeah.
I am drinking a cafe latte with sugar-free vanilla and half and half,
Nice.
yummy.
That sounds
and
nice.
H2O, good old H2O as well.
Yeah, it's like my. I'm drinking my seltzer, my black cherry seltzer water Polar brand, which I usually drink on stream.
Nice. No,
So-
I was going to ask you all. So, going back to Hellraiser, which is your favorite Hellraiser, Troy?
Oh gosh.
For me, the first one.
Yeah.
After
Okay.
that, I think
Although-
they kind of go off.
I was gonna say I was just on Doomcock last
Yeah.
week, and
That was fun.
I had to rein myself in, not to just go off on. I'd take over the whole show talking about Hellraiser.
In other words, he was trying not to squee.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Hellraisers!
For one thing, I do feel like the first two movies are so closely connected. If you've read Hellbound Heart, I feel like Hellraiser and Hellraiser 2 are to Hellraiser what Frankenstein and the Bride of Frankenstein are to the original novel of Frankenstein. It's two movies that take the original source material and kind of split it up a little bit. Oh yeah, Shaun of the Dead. is
Shaun of
another
the
good
Dead.
one.
that's
I
a
forgot
great
about
one.
that. Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah,
We're going to
yeah.
go down to the Winchester.
And wait till this all blows over. Yeah, exactly. But so I almost can't separate the first two movies. The third movie was a movie that happened. It's good.
I call it the MTV Hellraiser. I mean,
it is.
it's just so over the top and crazy. I mean,
And the fact that Terry Farrell's in it, I guess, that is also a good thing. But then you get back to you preferred Negan to Maggie?
Yeah. Well, at the
my
time that
gosh.
we noped out, Negan was still quite the butthole.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it's like, hated him.
But then you get to the fourth movie where my biggest problem with the fourth movie is they should have made it into 3 movies instead of 1. They put way too much in because it spans over 3 different, generations basically.
Right.
But it does get you all that lore of how the first lament configuration was created, what the modern day story is, and then where it's all leading up to, like the future. And there's a joke in a lot of horror circles. A franchise has run its course or jumped the shark or whatever when it goes to space. But of all the ones that went to space, I have to say Hellraiser, actually, that would have been a compelling story if it had been its own movie.
Right.
And some have argued, it was the Event Horizon. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, good point. I mean, you think about it that way. Then you go into a whole bunch of Hellraiser films that were Hellraiser in name only.
Yeah.
Literally, because they were other horror movies that they just shoehorned the puzzle box and the Hell Priest into just to capitalize on the Hellraiser name. I still have them all on DVD, but that doesn't make them good.
I am the 13th child. We don't have Hulu, so I don't think Troy's ever seen that.
No. We do. In fact, it's never been released on DVD, but because I have to have everything on physical media, Netter found a European,
Did I?
probably
Okay.
a bootleg, I suppose, of it. So yes, I have seen it. I have the same problem with that Hulu movie that I do with Tron Legacy. That the previous movie was really good and left a little open-ended. And I wanted to know where the story went from there. But they completely rebooted it, so we don't ever find that out. And that annoys me so much that it's hard for me to evaluate the movie on its own merits. Kind of divorce myself from where it came from. But anyway. That was way too long an answer to your question there, Larry. But when you get me talking on Hellraiser, that's what happens to
the
me.
Horror King says, fun fact. In the first Hellraiser movie... Hey.
Yep.
Hold on. I made it big and then it disappeared. In the first Hellraiser movie, Pinhead wasn't called Pinhead. His was lead Cenobite.
Yep.
He got the name Pinhead from fans and was given that name from the second movie onwards.
Yep. And in the I'm drawing a blank on what the
Real White Nation Gaming says, how dare you hate Tron Legacy, right?
Oh no! Did I say Legacy? I meant Ares.
Okay.
I liked Legacy, and I wanted to know where it... Yeah, see, that kind of messes up my whole point. Ares reboots, and we don't find out what happened after Legacy. I liked Legacy, and I'm left hanging. That's kind of my problem there. But, in fact, I'm drawing a blank. The Scarlet Gospels, I think is what it's called. The second book he wrote. Mm-hmm. The Hell Priest is called Pinhead by somebody, and he didn't like that very much. And it was kind of a meta joke, I think, about Pinhead is not a term that the Hell Priest would appreciate very much, But
well, it's not like he's got 9-inch nails in his head.
well, 9-inch nails. Yeah, exactly. Right. But
I was gonna
anyway.
say. I was gonna say, Netters, what about you? Like, what's your favorite? I know you said you like Warm Bodies, but is there a horror movie that you really enjoy?
Well, most of the horror films that Troy has introduced me to, because I had never been a big horror fan before I met my husband. So if you want to talk like horror, then the first Pinhead movie. But most of the horror films I like are more of the ones that are kind of, like thinkers, supernaturally, like The Others.
Oh, the others,
or The
yeah.
Sixth Sense, where these different things are going on, and then you get that twist ending, and it's like, whoa, But all the creepy stuff is going on in the meantime, and it's like, okay, this is kind of interesting. And then, what's that one? Cabin in the Woods.
Oh, yeah.
That one is interesting. Just the way that they have it set up with whatever item they touch, that's the thing that's going to attack them.
Yeah.
And the one guy keeps pounding, going, "It's never the merman." And what's funny is, this isn't really a spoiler because the movie's like how many years old? When their offices get attacked, the merman attacks the guy who always wanted the merman to attack, which I thought was hilarious. I'm like, you got your merman.
I want to let everyone know that, again, you should be clicking on that link up at the top of the chat. Subscribe to the Horror Cat Dad. His last video was 6 days ago, and he's talking about the... he's doing an unboxing of the NECA Ben Cooper Kids Trick or Treat. Speaking of Ben Cooper, I'm guessing you were a fan of those in your younger days. Those vinyl jumpsuits with the plastic pullover mask.
Snap the side of your face and leave marks on your face.
Exactly right.
Yep. Couldn't breathe in them.
As a fan of the what was it? The Gill Man. I would assume that was your. Because I saw that as the cover.
Yeah, I wasn't really thinking about those as horror films, but yeah. So like all the Dracula movies,
right?
Because I grew up with Dracula, so all the Bela Lugosi and all that Dracula movies, the Werewolf, the Mummy movies. I love all those. What's the other ones?
Werewolf.
I said Creature from the Black Lagoon. I'm missing somebody. Wait, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Mummies, Dracula, Frankenstein.
Oh, yeah.
Frankenstein movies, all those guys. It's like I grew up on those. I love those movies.
That's what I was leading up to. Did you have the Ben Cooper or the Gill Man?
I do. I do have the Ben Cooper. I actually reviewed that one the week before.
When I was a kid, I had the Frankenstein Ben Cooper.
Oh, nice.
That was mine. Yeah. In fact, there was this year, and I don't remember the exact year in the 70s. I was just kind of going through this whole Frankenstein thing. I think that was the first year that I saw the original Universal Frankenstein, and there was two movies on two different networks. One took place in a wax museum, and another one I don't remember, but they were both supposed to feature the Frankenstein monster. And so I actually had two different TVs on, and I had my family watching one and I was watching the other. And if Frankenstein comes on, you got to call me on so I can see it. And little 8-year-old Troy running from the kitchen to the front room to see Frankenstein, then running back to the other one.
Oh, yeah. It's like then you got the wax museum movies,
Oh,
those
yeah,
different
Vincent
ones.
Price and whatnot. Absolutely. That kind of creeped me out, because this whole idea of a body being hidden in the room. Oh, that's just so macabre.
It's funny because those ones, like the Dracula and all those ones, those movies never scared me. The ones that I just start going on are those slasher movies. I do not like slasher movies. That's why I'm really surprised that I like the first Pinhead. Well, actually, I think it's the first and second Pinhead movies, because they don't seem to be as graphic with the things sticking into people and all that. At least I don't remember them.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just blocking them out.
But
yeah, I hate slasher films.
Real Wade Nation Gaming Clips, welcome. He just subscribed, and he's given me some grief about my faux pas on the Tron Legacy.
Yeah.
I misspoke. I really did like Tron Legacy. I have no interest in Tron Ares.
Neither do I. I loved Legacy. It took me forever to see it. A buddy of mine kept telling me, "Man, listen to the score first, and then watch the movie." And I saw it, and I was completely blown away by it.
Yeah, same here. It's not perfect. In fact, Michael French over at Retro Blasting just recently did a video It's actually a re-release of a video he had done back when Legacy first came out, and he says how he would have tweaked it slightly to make it a little bit better. But by and large, very, very good movie. There's
Yeah,
Network. If you haven't seen it, I would suggest checking out Carnival of Souls. I actually think we have that on DVD. I got to check. But yes, you're absolutely right about that. And Horror King just subscribed to Horror Cat Dad. So there you go.
Awesome.
There you go. So yeah, good. This is why we do this. We want you to subscribe because
together we grow.
Well, together we grow. That's true. And if we like a channel, we assume you probably will too. We're kind of like family. We kind of think alike. So.
Yeah, and it's like I know that a lot of the guests I have on, these are members of our chat, members of our community, but we don't really know them more than they're in the chat. We see them in the chat.
Right.
So that's why I'll have some of you guys come on. Let's learn more about you, more about your channel, so that, people will go over there and go, hey, this is really cool. I didn't know about this thing. And, oh, he talks about this. This is great. Let me, make sure that I'm subbed. I hit that notification bell. I want to know more about this, and help grow your channels,
And yeah, channels plural. So that brings up the question: does the Horror Cat Mom have a channel as well?
No, she doesn't. It's just she
would it be more of a sci-fi cat mom channel if she were to do a channel?
It would be more of a crafting channel because she likes.
Oh, that would be interesting.
See, now that would be fun.
There
I would love to see that.
Yeah,
there you go.
She does more crafts and stuff like that when she has time. So it's kind of like I think if anything, I've talked to her about it before, and she was like, "Oh, I would if I did something like that, it would probably just." Because she also watches a lot of crafting channels and, thrifting channels and stuff like that. So I would imagine that's what she would do.
That would be great.
Coincidentally, what's kind of funny is that she, not until when we started dating and stuff like that, she was just like, she told me she liked the Toxic Avenger movies, the old school.
Oh, wow.
I was like, really? I was like, all right, interesting, and so yeah, I dragged her to the remake, and we both absolutely loved it. We were just laughing the whole way through, and the gore was hilarious, and everything was great. So yeah, she has surprised me with a lot of stuff. So
that's interesting.
The Horsing says recently about the Little Nightmares, the Lonely Ones book, and I finished it Wednesday morning. Awesome!
Nice.
I love books.
I would love to see the missus do a craft channel, and then you guys do like a crossover where she does like Night of the Living Dead needlepoint or something like that. I don't know, something like that.
She'll definitely have one of the cats on her shoulder because one of
there you go.
The calico, she always likes to be held.
Oh, nice.
Tell Mrs. Horror Cat Dad that if she starts a channel, I will have her here as a guest to help promote her.
Exactly. We'll get her up and running and get
I
her.
would
get her
love
the
to have her on as a guest. Help her get her channel, get some subscribers to her channel, because our community is Osmo.
I think so.
They always show the love. They're always so supportive and encouraging, and I think that she would benefit from that. I've had so many guests tell me how warm and welcoming our channels are, because we're not the type that are like what's the wording I'm looking for? We don't try to like push you away or like act like we're better than somebody else, whatever. Yeah. It's like we're welcoming you as a part of our family.
Yep.
And basically, you're our cousin. We're introducing you to the other cousins,
Rising tide raises all.
It's like
ships.
We haven't seen this cousin. Hey, this is my cousin here. Let's all get together,
So as we're getting ready to start winding it down, what have you got coming up in the near future on your channel that you want to let everybody know about?
I have a review dropping tomorrow. Another NECA figure, an older NECA figure. I kind of, I got it a while back, but I wanted to save it, particularly for Halloween, something special. And it has something to do with Romero. So
nice.
It'll be out tomorrow, and beyond that, I just did another conversation with recently, and that's something I'll do every month. But yeah, normally it's just going to be some shorts and some like review every week. That's
And
pretty much
Real
it.
Nation Gaming Clips, thank you. He says that
That
you guys
is
are my favorite.
that is so sweet of
That
you to
is very
say. Thank
sweet.
you so much. Thank you. And is there anything, Larry, that we didn't cover tonight that you wanted us to hit that we just didn't think about?
Trying to think. I mean, we pretty much covered everything. Like I said, I used to do a lot more stuff, but then I had to tone it down. You know, life gets in the way. So
It does.
uh,
I
Yeah.
get that.
another reason why, like, I only do the live stream, every month, like on my channel. I do actually. One other thing I guess I'll bring up is I'm going to be on a live stream tomorrow with somebody
Oh,
else
cool.
doing a watch along for Halloween 3. So
There you
that should
go.
be sometime in the afternoon.
Cool, cool.
Very
Oh
nice.
gosh, I know it drives Netter up the wall, but that I'm not sure if the original Halloween or Halloween 3 is my favorite. They're very close for me. I really I like the idea of uh, had Halloween not been a continuous Michael Myers choose your own adventure. I would have preferred, the anthology, and I loved the idea of that season of the witch.
Yeah, it's great.
I
Yeah,
also want to say hello to Rob's Vintage Video, and I just subscribed to you. I'd appreciate a sub
Hey,
back.
hey, good to see you, Robs. Good to see you. Glad you're here. But I think I'm already subscribed, aren't I? Let me double check. Let me check on him. Nope, that's Netter. I didn't want to go to Netter's network. I wanted to go to.
I was gonna
Yeah.
mention, Troy, to piggyback off of your story of like when you were younger.
Mm-hmm.
When I first came across the Universal Monsters, I was
Mm-hmm.
in elementary school and I picked up I call them the orange books, and I found one of the Creature from the Black Lagoon. I was instantly hooked, and
Yeah.
I was renting these out. I got one for Dracula, and I brought them home, and my mom's like, "These are movies," and I was like, "These are movies," and I was so I was so excited. And then back then there was Turner Classic Movies channel
Yeah.
or something. So when they came on, my mom you know she basically showed me those movies. So it's interesting. I wasn't really into horror as a kid. I was more a Star Wars fan, and I was more like action, comedy, and stuff. It's only as I got older I got more into horror. But I've always been a Universal Monsters fan since a kid, and I like Netter said, it wasn't that I was scared. I was just so like, wow, these are so cool. These are
Yeah.
so like the monsters were like awesome. Like just I don't know, they were like heroes to me. You know what I mean?
There was, yeah, well, tell me about it. I was talking earlier about Mego. Back in the 70s, I was buying the World's Greatest Superheroes, which was both DC and Marvel. Mego had the license for both of them. And there was other knockoff companies that were doing things in the same toy range. One of them was Lincoln, and they had the Lincoln Monsters, and they
Hmm.
were basically doing their version of the Universal Monsters. So I got all of those figures as well. They were a bit cheaper, they fell apart real easy, but I love those things so much. And there really was this big I don't know, like a renaissance of the Universal Monsters in the 70s. As I keep pointing out to the audience, the 70s was a time where, yes, there was physical media, there was the precursor to VHS, which was VTR, but that was only rich people had that. I didn't know anyone who had it, and our school only had VTR players for, you know, what
Educational
would you call it?
purposes.
Educational? Yeah, exactly. Well, in quotes, educational purposes, really to put on a movie so that they could
Hmm.
go out and smoke or whatever. But so when you would go to the library, you had your choice of books, magazines, or records,
Oh, yeah.
LPs that
Yeah.
oftentimes would tell a story. So I oftentimes would take out, the stories, and they had, the sound effects and all that kind of stuff. But there was this one book, and I can't remember off the top of my head what the title was. It was like Monsters of Movie Land or something like that. And it talked all about the history of the Universal monsters. It got into the kaiju in Japan and stuff like that too. The trends in the later 50s with the sci-fi monsters. And I used to take this book out all the time, and I would read it cover to cover, cover to cover. I'd bring it back, and I'd say, I'm bringing it back. Did anyone ask for it? Otherwise, I want to sign it out again. Well, after I had taken it out so many times, I was in 8th grade at the time. The librarian said, well, this was the last time you could take it out. I'm like, yeah. She says, you know what? She went and she did some writing and she did some tapping. She goes, I just damaged this book out. It's now yours. You can take it home with you.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I'm like, wow, that is so cool. Because she was like, nobody has loved this book like you do. I can't let you leave 8th grade and not take this book with you. I'm like, oh, that's so wonderful. So I
Very
still
nice.
have it somewhere. But
That's awesome. Yeah, and I have a sort of similar story, but it ends in more hardship or heartache. So I last year, was it last year? Yeah, sometime like the end of last year, I found this thrift books place online, and they actually had the orange books of Creature from the Black Lagoon, and I ordered it. I was super excited about it, and it said good condition. I got it, and it was just like I had to return it because it was like it just wasn't what the pictures that they had on their website said. And you're saying this is good condition, but you could tell the hardcover was already getting eaten down, like worn out and everything. And I was just like, oh man, like I was so happy. And then when I got it and everything, and I got it really quick, and then but me, I wish back then I would have told my mom, no, get that book for me, or have them go to the library and tell them I need that book. I wish I would have done that.
I know, because it's like those, they're out of print. Those go for like over $500 these days.
I have noticed that if you order from thrift stores online, a lot of times they'll be like, yeah, good condition or whatever. Well, their definition of good and what's actually good is never the same. I've gotten books that have been waterlogged where they say it's good condition, but they have stock photos, so you can't see the actual item. They won't do a picture of the actual item. So I've gotten, and it's like you can see all the pages have gotten wet, or a bunch of pages got wet. There's marks on them. It's like, what is this? I am not keeping this book. I'm going to return. You're going to refund me. I mean, it's totally crazy. It's like, no, this is not good condition. This is poor condition.
I took pictures. I sent it to him like, hey, the site said this. I only see one picture. Y'all didn't show the back where it's like eaten away. Like the back part of it was eaten away, like termites or something were chewing on it or something. I don't know. But
oh gosh, that's terrible. That's
I was just like, man. Maybe someday I can find one. I don't know.
Keep checking eBay.
Yeah, well, I found one on eBay. It's for $500. I saw another one from a thrift store for $121. It's an expensive one because it's out of print. I know. It's,
but sometimes you'll find them on a site and it's not as bad. There's one author that I really like, Zena Henderson. And she'd passed away. She had written a book that I loved called The Anything Box. And I was like, I know she's written other books. I should see what she's got. And I got a majority of her books just going to different sites trying to find the best price. And I think the most I spent on a book was like $12.
Oh, wow.
And these are out of print. But I just kept shopping around and, okay, let me see what's here. And also, like, on eBay, people are just like, it's a book. Like, buy it, get it out of my house. So, they don't really know what they have. So I found a lot of them on eBay. And like I said, the most expensive one I think was $12. But for the most part, I think I was paying maybe $6-7 a book just from shopping around. Yeah. And like I said, I know it's not eBay. This is like the best place I found for them. Is people will just have a bunch of books and just go, buy these.
Yeah.
I don't want them.
Yeah.
I'm going to try selling them. If I can't sell them, I'm going to donate them. So let me see if I can get a couple bucks out of it. And then, So I got a lot of the Zena Henderson books from there. So yeah, keep checking eBay and misspell it. Try the normal spelling
good
and also
point.
try misspelling, because sometimes people misspell and then they don't get as many views. So you can get books that way too for a song, and like any way that you can think of to misspell. So like, let's say that there's an I in there, put a Y. See if that does it. If it's normally got 2 L's, take one of the L's out, something like that. If there's an E on the end, take the E off, because people misspell all the time and they don't realize it. And you can even do a search, like when you're doing the search, you put in like the title, the title, but then in parentheses you can also do like, this spelling, comma, this spelling, comma, this spelling, comma, and then all of those different ones will come up, and you can just scroll through and see if you can find one that's a decent price.
So
I'm an eBay queen.
So members on my channel, we were talking about memberships. You guys might want to double check that poll, but I'm thinking that we're pretty much locked in unless I get a bunch more votes. We will be watching Trick or Treat on Monday. You just did a NECA
Cool.
video about Trick or Treat, as I recall. So there you go.
And because I'm an eBay queen, that's how Troy got a 6-foot Millennium Falcon.
That is true. We'll tell you about the I'll do a video one day about the Millennium Falcon Extraordinaire. So
Yes.
I'm gonna say that's all I got, because we got it.
And of course, if you stay right here, you'll be redirected to Deleted Scenes channel for coming attraction.
Exactly.
But before we sign off, Horror Cat Dad, any final words?
Once again, thank y'all for having me on, and thanks everybody in the chat for hanging out with us. Like you said, I really, once I kind of started getting in y'all's chats and stuff like that, you can really tell like everybody's really, really supportive and cool and really, really nice and stuff. So yeah, it's very, very, I was very pleasantly surprised when y'all asked me to be on, and it's truly been a pleasure and an honor. So thank you very much.
Oh,
Well, I'm gonna have to hit you up for maybe we can get you on to another last call some Friday night when you don't have holiday plans.
And I want to say hello to Granite State Guy.
Hey,
Welcome.
good to see you. The way you say that makes it sound like you've been lurking for a little while. Sorry if we didn't see you, but welcome.
And they got a cat.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
And of course, you all know what I always say.
Mm-hmm.
We can talk amongst ourselves, and that's all well good and fun. But it's so much more fun when you guys are joining us in the chat and you're dropping the comments, questions, trivia, being goofy, whatever it may be. And it doesn't feel like we're separated by miles or continents in some cases. It feels like we're all hanging out in our family room. We're passing the popcorn and having a great time. And you guys, you're not just our friends. You're our family. We love you guys and we appreciate you so very much. I want to thank you all for the many ways that you encourage us on the panel and each other in the chat, the way you support our channels, whether it's super chats, super stickers, becoming members, sharing out the stream, whatever it may be. Thank you so much for that. It does mean a lot to us. You all know that Troy is doing a membership drive right now, so if you're not a member, would you consider becoming one? It's $2 a month and you get those 4 movies, every week. And you're never going to get another deal like that.
That's true.
So if you would consider that would be amazing at Osmo. He is trying to get 100 members by the end of the year and 2,000 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed, or if you think you are, just double check that you're sub, because YouTube. But, excuse me. my voice suddenly went out. Oh yeah, I got my voice back. Yay.
Yeah.
But like I said, stay right here and you'll be redirected to Deleted Scenes, Stephen Otten's channel. But until next time, good night and God bless. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. And Horror Cat Dad, stay with us. We'll say our proper goodbyes in the backdrop. Everyone else, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Outro. There we go.
Network, and it's all for